Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As a dietitian, I am a huge advocate of snacking, and a common question that I get is, what snacks do I recommend? Fair question, very valid. In this video, I'm going to share some of my favorite snacks that you can find at your local Walmart. Consider this video part 1 of a series, and make sure you subscribe so that you are in the know when I post another version of this at a different grocery store. Okay, before we actually get into my list of favorites, I want to give a few reminders about snacking in general. So, first of all, I feel like snacking tends to get demonized. It's just
extra calories.
but that's not the case. Snacking can really serve a purpose, a lot of purposes actually. My main reason for snacking, beyond just eating food that tastes really good, is snacks allow me to not get too hungry going into my next meal. I usually recommend trying to eat something like every 3 to 4 hours or so, and snacking helps me do that so I don't go into the next meal feeling ravenous, eating to an uncomfortable feeling of fullness. Snacks help us not get too hungry. Yeah, they give our body calories, but calories are a good thing. We need calories. Our body literally cannot operate without them. Boring educational piece number 2. What does a dietitian look for in a snack? So around here, you guys know that we do not claim that any foods are good or bad, healthy or unhealthy. We apply what's known as gentle nutrition. So we're always trying to make food choices that make us feel good, if we can. Trying to incorporate some variation of protein, fiber, and fats at most meals and snacks tends to really help give our snacks more staying power. I'll bring up a few different ways that you can incorporate this protein, fat, and fiber concept. Okay, without further ado, let me share my favorite snacks that you can find at Walmart. Also, budget friendly is the name of the game here too. A lot of these are going to be the Great Value store brand, and they usually have a name brand version as well. So wherever I can, I'm making the swap for the store brand. Let's try to categorize these. Let's start with like bars. Should we start with bars? Those tend to be an easy throw it in your purse or your lunchbox, leave them in your car kind of snack. One of my favorites that I just found is these Kind Bar dupes. That's so Gen Z of me to say. Great Value has their own store brand version of Kind Bars. When looking at the nutrition facts on these, you can see they have 7 grams of fiber in this variation specifically. You can see there are some fats in there, as well as 6 grams of protein. Is that the highest amount of protein you can get in a protein bar? No, there's so many others out there. But this one, offering the fiber and the fats as well as the protein, will also help keep us full, just like having more protein than that would, you know? And we can also eat this with other things. Like we can have this bar, maybe some apple slices, some blueberries, a string cheese, literally whatever. Have you guys ever heard of the Cliff bars for kids, the Z bars? Obviously, if you're an adult watching this, you can still eat these. But once again, there is a Great Value store version, and they were a pretty good deal compared to the Cliff Bar brand version. Another great option if you're looking for a bar. And then if you meander over to the refrigerated section, they will have Perfect bars. You guys may know already that I'm a huge fan of these. Another great source of fats and protein. These are kept cold because of the ingredients they use in them, so they won't be in like the granola bar aisle. They'll be like by the yogurts and stuff usually. That was just a quick recap of like 3 different bars. Obviously, if you've gone to Walmart, you've seen the shelf of just like so many of them. If you guys want, let me know. I could even do a whole video dedicated to my favorite just like bars overall. Okay, we're gonna take a few steps down the same aisle or pretty close to it and go look at some oatmeal. You might think of oatmeal as like a breakfast food, and it totally can be, but I actually like to have like little packets of oatmeal as like a super easy snack. Of course, Great Value has their brand. They even have a higher protein version, which is a little more expensive, but does have a few extra grams of protein. And then there is also these like individual serving size ones too. If you don't want to pay for the bougie protein version, because not everything has to be proteinified, you can once again just add stuff to it. When I make instant oatmeal, I tend to add chia seeds. I add like some fresh fruit like blueberries or strawberries, banana, and then also like some peanut butter is really, really good to me. So you can just like throw some pantry staples onto your oatmeal if you don't want to buy the fancy dancy protein version. You guys may have heard of the brand Kodiak. They make like pancake mix, frozen waffles. They have like syrups too. They also have these little muffins you can get that you just, once again, like add a liquid to and microwave. Kodiak is known for having high protein items. These little guys have 12 grams of protein. Once again, you can always doctor these things up and add maybe some peanut butter, some berries, whatever, to get even more protein, fat, and fiber. Next, let's go to the cereal aisle. For some reason, cereal is such a demonized food when it offers, honestly, a lot of nutrition. And of course, it's so convenient and relatively cheap. I am definitely the gal who is eating cereal as a snack versus breakfast. Cereal of any kind can be a great choice. There are totally some that are higher in protein, some that have more fiber. I just found these blueberry pie ones when I was at Walmart recently. Sounds so good. I have not tried it yet, to be transparent. So I'm not really advocating this one specifically because I haven't tried it, but just cereal as a whole. And if you ask the Washington Post, they might suggest that I'm being paid by Big Cereal to say this. I'm not. This video is not sponsored. No one is paying for me to say these things. A lot of times cereals are fortified with vitamins and minerals. There is no such thing as empty calories. Every calorie that we eat is offering us some variation of nutrition. How do you guys feel about popcorn? I love popcorn. Ross and I always call it popcorn because of The Office.
Why don't you use the microwave in the kitchen, Phyllis?
Someone needs to clean it. It smells like popcorn.
You can totally get just like regular microwave popcorn. I personally am a very cheap girly and I like to buy just the big bag of popcorn kernels and then you just make it on the stove. I like to add some butter and salt. If I'm in the mood for like sweet and salty, I'll add some chocolate chips. Maybe I'll have like some nuts on the side. Once again, a string cheese. A lot of Walmarts will also have a big variety of different like popcorn flavorings, seasonings. I don't indulge in those too much. I'm just a big fan of like salt and butter, but you could totally get super creative with all these different fun flavorings. Let's talk more about like chips and crackers. The Dietitian Hannah household is very keen on Cheez-Its, but I am no stranger to the chip aisle, the cracker aisle. I love a salty snack. If I choose like a chip or a cracker, if I eat it by itself, it's not gonna be very satisfying, not gonna be very filling. So once again, I always try to add to it. If there is any snack that I'm not mentioning here that you're like, oh my gosh, I love Ritz crackers, but you're like, dang, those don't really have a lot of protein, fiber, or fats. That's okay. Have your favorite snacks, make it into a cute little snack plate, and you're golden. The rest of these will all be pretty high protein on their own, starting off with beef jerky. Walmart has the Great Value store brand, all kinds of flavors, great shelf-stable protein. And if you love salt like me, beef jerky is the way to go. I also am a huge fan of like those flavored tuna packets. Again, Walmart has a whole bunch of them. I think these are like 90 cents or something for each one. Lots of flavors. You can literally just eat it like out of the packet with a fork or a spoon or whatever. Or you could have some crackers or veggies with it or both. Turn it into like a tuna salad to have with crackers or on a wrap, on a sandwich. Again, just a really great shelf-stable, relatively cheap protein source. And finally, let's go to the dairy aisle, which just might be my favorite aisle. It's a pretty neck and neck competition between dairy and the chips and crackers. Usually I combine the two in some fashion. If you go to the yogurt aisle, you will see there are so many yogurts available. I get asked that question a lot, like what's the best yogurt to choose? Once again, if there's one that you know that you love, choose that one. Maybe see how you can add to it so it is a little more filling, more satisfying. I tend to gravitate towards a Greek yogurt. I like the flavored ones a lot. I add some fresh fruit like berries, maybe some granola for some crunch. There's also a lot of like drinkable yogurts coming out these days. These Light and Fit ones, although the name is not the best, I do like how they have fiber and protein in there. These Chobani Complete ones have 20 grams of protein, which is pretty great. Those are a little pricier, but it is a lot of protein. I already mentioned cottage cheese. You can turn cottage cheese into like a savory snack or a sweet snack. If you guys are on the cottage cheese side of TikTok, I'm sure you've seen a bajillion different cottage cheese recipes. And once again, we don't need to like healthify, proteinify everything that we eat. I do like cottage cheese though, so if you do too, it can be a great high protein snack. If I want to go more of a sweet route, I like to add like canned fruit, like canned pineapple, canned peaches. You could of course do fresh fruit too. I also like to do fresh blueberries on cottage cheese, or you can go more savory. So once again, you could like dip chips in cottage cheese, or maybe you add like some pepper to it, or everything bagel seasoning would be really good. I know some people who add like tomato, like cherry tomatoes to their cottage cheese. So many ways to jazz it up. You may have noticed that I didn't really mention like fresh fruits and veggies much in this video, but of course, those can be a great snack or part of a snack. This video was mainly focused on like packaged foods you can get, convenience foods, but by all means, like you can make a snack from scratch. You can have fresh fruits and veggies. This list is not exhaustive, so hopefully I don't get a lot of comments about like, what kind of dietitian are you not recommending raw carrots for a snack? If you like raw carrots, have the raw carrots. But those are just a few of my favorites. Again, let me know what other stores you would like me to peruse through and show you my favorite snacks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this video. Make sure you like it if you enjoyed it. Again, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.